Jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Turn it up, y'all. Beat flow.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor at M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line.
Ready? Blue ready. Man, I got you. Man, I got you.
A carry for Devontae Freeman, who missed most of last season. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I've not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things up.
Yeah, I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now.
They'll only get a couple up to about the 30. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
Double tight, guys, double tight.
On third down, Devontae Freeman. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Not at all what they envisioned on third down. 3 yards in the wrong direction. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line.
You rarely call your punter a weapon, but he certainly was there. How about that? Pinning him down at the 1-yard line and helping out the defense in a big way. I'm telling you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I might be thinking safety right now.
The second-year man from USC, this is Ronald Jones. And he'll get him a little space here up to the 5-yard line. Eli Apple up from his corner spot to make the play. On second down now, it's Jones. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
Brings up 3rd and 3.
We go. Slide in. Mike 52. And 47. Cut. Mike 50. Go. 50-26.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And he finds Jimmy Graham. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open. He finds a way to pick up a first down.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now a deep ball going to be caught here near midfield. And now off to the races, down the right side. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Miles Boykin, his second touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Rosas good with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
On second down, Winston again. He's going to fire one deep over the... And got his man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain there of 30 big ones. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10.
He's checking. Crash.
From the gun, Winston. And a catch made by Hopkins. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
A first down throw for Winston. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. A first update now from Cleveland. And early on, the driver's seat belongs to the Seahawks. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. They go play action. Winston. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 14. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. Not that time for Watkins.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Tighten up. Go, get out there.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. He's going to look deep down the field. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. A big play that time for the Ravens. And even 40 yards. How about this first quarter for them throwing the football?
This defense has 0 answers for what they've seen so far with the ball in the air. I'm not sure how they're going to change things around, but offensively, I keep attacking. I keep throwing the football until they make me change.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down.
Brandon, after last week, we went over 200 yards. Looks like the hot tub, cold tub, whatever he did, it worked pretty well.
Much chatter about that performance. Rightfully so. AFC Offensive Player of the Week. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. The tackle goes there to Linval Joseph.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. 4 receivers now in the formation. 3 to the left, 1 to the right on 2nd and 7. To throw is Prescott. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Eli Apple.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 25 yards to pick up there, and also a first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They run. Devontae Freeman. He'll get only a couple down to the 44.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run with a former Tar Heel, T.J. Logan. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. A tale of 2 extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive, followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Play fake. Here's Prescott. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Here's Prescott. And, boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
One of the great coaches said football is really a simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush won, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Here we go, 46, 46. 58 to Mike. I'm coming after you. Hot something, hot something. 50, under. 58 to Mike. Hey, tight.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10.
Go to 54, go to 54. Hey. Count. Here's 26.
To the air again, Prescott. Open man is Gordon, complete. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
13 yards on the play.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
This is Jones. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Throwing, Prescott. This into the hands of his running back, Ronald Jones. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 12 yards the pickup there, good for a Raven first. He's a reigning AFC Offensive Player of the Week, and defensively, they have to find an answer for him.
And that's what you would do if you were calling plays, right? You make sure that he gets targeted. But the thing about it is the route running. That's what makes him so dangerous, is because no matter what is presented defensively, he runs his route with such skill that he's able to go up and get the football first in each and every situation.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On second down, it's Drake. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game.
Don't be mad. Don't be mad. You know what coming. This is what yeah, baby. Boom.
We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. That has to feel like a very unsatisfying drive, right? You move the ball all that way, and then you can't convert on third down.
But it was satisfying up until that point. Almost like a great movie, and then the film cuts out before the big ending.
A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle. Right? No big plays given up. No balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by the linebacker, Raekwon McMillan. And he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
PAT up and good by Rosas. And that makes our score 17-0. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Looking to throw again on second down. Winston going deep for Hopkins. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls when you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. On 3rd down, Winston. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
A gain of 21 yards.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing.
And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 49. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here, but he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
Throwing on 2nd down. Prescott. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Paul Richardson in the final seconds of the first half as the Ravens push further out in front.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook, but even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. The Bengals drive about to get going. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Final play of the half here. Winston going deep for Hopkins. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, and they've got it. They recovered it. They hang on now, though. There's a penalty flag down. So they touched it before it went 10, and that's obviously not going to help their comeback bid here in the 4th.
No, not at all. And they're trying to get something going after one there. But you've got to give yourself a chance. Let it go 10 before you touch it.
A run there on 1st down and a pretty good one of 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. Tackle made by Everson Griffin. They'll go again to Jones. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Past the 20. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Ronald Jones, his 9th touchdown of the season, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Rosas good with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
He's coming. Double left, double left. He's coming, double up. Even.
This is Freeman. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Freeman again. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. On 4th down, they do snap it to Winston. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 45. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. On 1st down, it's Jones. He's got the 1st down here inside the 30. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Ronald Jones, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Ravens turn that interception into a touchdown. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
This will be taken in after 1. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much...
He's got a man complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one good for 37 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they give to Freeman. Give the tackle to Hassan Reddick. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Winston. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. From the shotgun, it's Winston. He finds Hopkins complete. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 25-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
To throw is Winston. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off inside the 10. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Again, it's Jones. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Got Gordon open, completes it. 16 yards on that one at a Raven first. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Jones takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards. Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Just like that. Just like that.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Ravens on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the Alabama man, Dre Kirkpatrick. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. Has a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. In on the stop defensively, Raekwon McMillan. And now a 10th carry for Freeman. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. The Bengals on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. On play action, Winston. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Geno Atkins got home that time.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle, and frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play-action fade.
Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
I smell fear in that.
We're going to 53.
They'll try the right side with Jones. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They'll keep it on the ground. Jones. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Check 13. Check 13.
Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. He's got the first down here inside the 30. That one 28 yards on the ground. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Oh, you got deep?
We're going to 54.
On 3rd down, here's Jones. And they'll hustle up to stop him well shy of the first, right around the 15. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And Rosas puts this one through. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
The Bengals drive about to get going. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to him.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
He's going to let it fly. And now here's another interception. Picked off at the 38, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Jones. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Ravens, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
I came to win.
Oh, they asking my name, huh?
You ready?
S-T-R-O, I ain't come to play with you. Life challenges, but I wouldn't trade with you. It's early, I'm up. I can't spend the day with you. I'm out of my business. I ain't getting paid with you. My color bright. I ain't finna fade with you. Man, I gotta come clean like I made with you. I've been on my everybody drop when I drop. Look at shorty, she support ride. Lifting up, never not on my grind. New York City time, another brother better, you will never find. I've been in my bag like groceries. Competition shouldn't take shots, take notes, please. Reporting live from the winning side. Ready to try, keep a different vibe. Is you down the ride, never tired. You will never know, you ain't never tried. Work it out, hit the gym, hit the field, hit the win. Hey yo, I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah, beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
What I do? Lace up my shoes, chase W's. Great colored coops. Oh no, I can't be number 2. MVP the league most valuable. They sweet as apple juice. Talking trophies, I done grabbed a few. Can't match this attitude. I wear my heart on my sleeve, please. I move like the wind, can't catch this breeze, freeze. Stop you in your tracks, it's not no preseason. We seeking W's like Tupac used to throw up. Forget it, might as well forfeit. Your team shouldn't even show up. What you wanna be when you grow up? They used to ask me. Naturally, I chose an athlete. Competition never matched me. We ain't go together. Like camouflage and polka dots. Focus on your position, just know your spot. Sure, don't stop, it's a long season. They planning on winning for the wrong reasons. Trying to get my number retired. Can't let these frauds beat us. I figured out the recipe. Never let opponents get the best of me. I'm focused on my legacy.
I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do?